It's Ash from SuperVideos back for another live stream for Season 8 of The Walking Dead. This is going to be a live stream for Season 8, Episode 3, which was called Monsters. So, like the other weeks, I'm going to be doing this live stream, basically answering you guys' questions and basically discussing the events of the last episode, which was Episode 3, and what we're going to see in Episode 4. So, we're going to discuss what we saw and what we want to see or where the story is heading in the next episode. So I'm going to wait a few minutes and basically wait for people to join the chat, and then we'll go from there. But one thing I wanted to say, the most, I guess, talked about or popular moment in the episode was Morales dying, and I actually did a few videos sharing my thoughts about that and, kind of sharing what I think they wanted to do and, everything that surrounded Morales' return. I discussed that I believe it was fan service to an extent, but I believe the way they brought him back in the circumstance they were bringing him back, or the circumstance in which they brought him back, was timed to perfection, and they did it on purpose, and they did it in a clever way. So they didn't just bring him back and kill him. They made it mean something. At least that's my opinion. So Kevin Martinez is online. You say hi, hello. You ask, do you know if Daryl is going to die? So they can kill Daryl off. Like I've said in my other videos, I think this season with All Out War is the best or a good moment or a good time for them to kill Daryl. Obviously, there's a lot of risks because Daryl is very popular. He's a fan favorite. So, AMC might not want to take that risk. But that being said, I believe that if they do end up killing him this season, it'll be very good because it's shocking and it could be one of the most interesting and shocking scenes in the entire series. But it all depends on whether AMC is willing to take the risk. Blue H says, sup. Hello, what's up? How are you? So we have we have 3 people online right now. So I want you guys to share your opinions about the last episode. What do you guys think about Morales' death? And also, what do you guys think about that cliffhanger? Who do you think died from the Kingdom community or from the Kingdom army? I will do a separate video talking just about that, but, it was a very cool and shocking ending. A very interesting cliffhanger. Obviously, King Ezekiel lives, but it's going to be interesting to see who dies and how that moves Ezekiel, and how it's gonna, what kind of an impact it's gonna have on Ezekiel. Ronnie Thomas says, hi Ash. Hi Ronnie, how are you doing? Next person says, hello, I can't really pronounce your name. Sinfear919 or something along those lines. Hello? Ronnie Thomas, I think Morales thing us just fan service. Yeah, like I said, I definitely think that it was fan service to an extent. But that being said, I do think that they really tried to bring him back in a clever way in terms of when he came back and his discussion with Rick. I did a standalone video just talking about that. I think I posted it before this, so it's the one that I posted right before this. But, I basically shared my thoughts about that, and in my opinion, it's fan service, no question. But they did bring him back in a clever way. Epic Zombie Killer, Q&A, bringing back Morales was pointless. So, yeah, I believe it was pointless to an extent, like I said. In my opinion, if they didn't bring him back, nothing would have changed. But bringing him back did flesh out some of his character and also did make Rick question his humanity a little bit. And I think that's going to become important, not just yet, but it's going to be something that, they might be able to utilize later on. Sinfear919 says, you pronounced my name correctly. Thank you. I'm glad I pronounced it correctly. Killer Hacks. I already know Shiva will die in the next episode. I'm going to miss her. So, yeah, I thought she's going to die in the 3rd episode, but apparently not. So, let's see what happens in episode 4. I hope that nothing happens to her, but the closer we get to the mid-season finale, the more likely it is for Shiva to die. Because, obviously, having that tiger is going to cost them money because of CGI. So, I think I'd rather see them give Shiva a great death and save that money and invest it in other parts, like some of the fight scenes, war scenes, things like that, than to have a CGI tiger and not waste, but spend that money there. Sinfear919. Yeah, Morales was brought back to show a little bit of Rick and Daryl's moralities, I think. Yeah, that's actually very interesting because Daryl did kill Morales, and Rick, well, not that he didn't like it, but he was taken back a little bit, and he felt bad about it. And in the same episode, Rick gave the other savior his word, and Daryl killed the other savior. So I do believe that Morales did have some part in that as well, to kind of create some sort of tension between Rick and Daryl. Ronnie Thomas. For me, all the Kingdomers are dead except Carol, Ezekiel, and Jerry. I think most of them are dead, but I do believe, other than Carol, Ezekiel, and Jerry, there's probably 1 or 2 other ones that are alive. Because if they just end up killing all of the Kingdom members, then, there's no Kingdom member army to kill off after. If you know what I mean. Because obviously, we're not even halfway through the war. If All Out War is an entire season. But, they're going to have to keep some of those Kingdom members and kill them later on if they're going to do that. But I do agree that Carol, Ezekiel, and Jerry all survived. Blue H. If the member of the Vados gang are still alive, they should bring them back. They actually died. There was a deleted scene that showed that Rick and the group went back and the Vados gang were all killed. So they're all dead. They're probably not going to come back. Not probably. They're definitely not going to come back. Epic Zombie Killer. Did you check out Ratchet and Clank? I didn't, so I forgot about that. I'm actually going to write it down right now and check right after the stream because, I keep forgetting about that. So I'm writing it down right now. So I'm going to check it out, and hopefully by the next stream, I'll have an answer for you. Ronnie Thomas. Hey Ash, how do you think Rick and the others who have deal with Pennywise? I'm not sure I understand that question. I know who Pennywise is, but I don't understand your question very well. You might want to reword it. Killer Hacks. Jerry is cool and funny. I hope he doesn't die. Yeah, he is very cool, very funny. He is a favorite character of many fans, myself included. And, in The Walking Dead, that is a dangerous thing. Because if someone is a favorite character, then it's very likely that they're not going to live longer. Unless they're a big, big character. Daryl. I'm not sure if you heard me, but I said Daryl. But, yeah, so Daryl is a fan favorite, but he has a lot of plot armor. And because he's a very big character and a lot of fans like him, it's risky to kill him off. But Jerry is not that popular in my opinion, so they may end up killing him. Ronnie Thomas, do you think there is going to be sort of civil war with Morgan, Tara, Daryl want to kill all the saviors, but Rick, Jesus don't want to? They could go that route, but I feel like it would make it so that there's a lot of things going on. I feel like it's better to keep this story as it is do include some tension between the members of the communities, like Daryl and Rick, like Morgan, Tara, and Jesus, but not to an extent that there's like a civil war going on. I don't want to see a war within the communities. I think that, you know, if they want to do that, that's going to bring a lot of things that may fade away the main purpose of this season, which is all out war with Rick and Negan on both sides. But that's a very interesting question. Blue H, how bad are the Whispers? They're very bad. They're incredibly bad. Yeah. Killer Hacks, heard it loud and clear. And okay, I think you're referring to when you said Jerry is cool and funny, and how he might die. Ronnie Thomas, imagine Pennywise in The Walking Dead. That would be interesting, but I don't think he fits in the world of The Walking Dead. I think, you know, he is a character that fits in the world that he's from. So I don't think he would fit in the world of The Walking Dead or any post-apocalyptic world. Ronnie Thomas also says, do you think Carl will really die? So I'm not going to get into spoilers or anything like that, but we're going to have to wait and see. I did a separate video talking just about that, so if you really want to know my thoughts, you can go there and kind of hear my thoughts, but I'm not going to do any kind of spoiler talk in this live stream here. Now, this live stream, just like the other live stream, is going to be only 30 minutes long, so I think that's a good time in terms of answering questions that are just related to this episode that we saw and the next episode. So we're not going to get into a lot of questions that are from the comics or from, you know, other seasons or from Fear the Walking Dead. So we're just going to stick with the discussion about this season, season 8. Everything we've seen in this season so far. Ronnie Thomas, if Carl dies, do you think Rick will kill Negan? So, it depends. Right now, Rick wants to kill Negan, no matter what happens to Carl. But, you know, later on, things may change. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. If they want to stick to comic material, then Rick will probably do something with Negan that is unexpected for those that don't read the comics. But for Rick, at this moment, right now, he definitely wants to kill Negan. He's made it loud and clear to Negan over and over again. He's gonna kill him. Killer Hacks, I think this will happen. Daryl sees an innocent savior and tries to kill him, but Rico will stop him. But Rick says something that sets off his trigger and they get in a fight. Sure, that could happen. They could do something like that. I don't know who Rico is. I don't know which savior that is, but, you know, they could do something like that. But I feel like that's repetitive. They already did that with Morgan and Jesus, so if they want to do it again with Daryl and Rick, it might be repetitive. They might want to change it up a bit so that it feels different. Ronnie Thomas, do you think Carol will die in the next episode? No, I don't think so. I think Carol is safe at the moment. She's probably going to live longer. Killer Hacks, Ronnie, are you a troll? Maybe. He asks interesting questions, let's just say that. Royal Beast, Shiva apparently dies in the next episode. So no spoilers, please guys, no spoilers. I don't want to know about any spoilers. So, yeah, but Shiva dying in the next episode, it's kind of predictable. So I don't see it as a big spoiler if it is a spoiler, but, you know, please no spoilers in this live stream. Ronnie Thomas, no why. Okay, you're just answering Killer Hacks here. Killer Hacks, I mean Rick, not Rico. Okay, so let me go back and read that question again. I think this will happen. Daryl sees an innocent savior and tries to kill him, but Rick will stop him and says something that sets off his trigger and they get in a fight. Yeah, so that's more or less... Yeah, that's more or less what I thought before anyway, so it has the same answer. They could go that route, but I think they need to make it a bit different because they already did something like this with Jesus and Morgan. Ronnie Thomas, where do you think Morgan go? Where do I think Morgan went? I'm not sure. I think he just left for now. I think he finds it better for him to be away than for him to be with the group and not be able to do what he thinks needs to be done to keep them safe. So I think he's just doing it to keep everybody not happy necessarily, but keep away any type of tension within the group. Blue H, Carol obviously won't die. She might get injured but not die. Yeah, I think she might get injured. She might even get captured because we did see in the teaser that she's surrendering. So she might even get captured, but I don't think she's going to die. Ronnie Thomas, do you think Father Gabriel betrays Rick? No, I don't think so. I think, again, it's repetitive. They've done that before with Gabriel as well. He betrayed Rick when they were back at Alexandria. He told, not really betrayed, but he told Deanna that, or he lied to Deanna about Rick and the others. So they already did a storyline with Gabriel betraying them. So I don't think they're going to do it again. Killer Hacks, Father Gabriel better not or I'll hate him forever. Yeah, if he does it again, I will hate him forever and he's not going to redeem himself to me. So yeah, I don't think that they will do that again. But it's interesting that we haven't seen Gabriel and Negan or anyone at the sanctuary so far. We've seen them in the first episode, but we didn't see them in the second or third episode. And it doesn't seem like we're going to see them in the next episode, episode 4 either. So that's very interesting. Also, what's very interesting, or more interesting, is that we haven't seen the scavengers for 4 episodes now. We haven't seen them in this entire season. So that's going to be interesting to see when they come back. I think they might come back in episode 5 or 6. But for Negan and Gabriel and the other saviors at the sanctuary, I think it's very, very likely that they're going to come back in episode 5. Blue H, I hope I'm not trying to spoil anything for anyone, but do you think Morgan's son could possibly be a Whisperer? Morgan's son is dead, I believe. I believe Morgan's son died when, or I think this is what happened. Morgan didn't kill his wife because he couldn't get himself to do it. And then his wife, as a walker, ended up killing his son, Morgan's son. So I think Morgan's son is dead. Ronnie Thomas, what do you think Negan will do to Gabriel? I don't think he's going to do anything to him. He might intimidate him or try to, you know, make him scared a little bit and make him question whether he needs his shitting pants, but I don't think he's going to do anything to him. I think he's going to keep him as leverage. Ronnie Thomas says Morgan's son is dead. Yeah, I believe so as well. Killer Hacks, Dwayne dies. Well, they didn't show it. Yeah, they didn't show it, but they basically told us through dialogue. So Morgan, when he was talking to Rick, I think, or was it Rick? I don't know who it was, but when he was talking to them, he said that his son died. Ronnie Thomas says this could be interesting, but I don't know what you're referring to. Killer Hacks, even if Dwayne Morgan's son survived, how could a kid survive years of this? How did Carl survive? Or how did Carl survive years of this? I think it's not about whether you're a kid or not. It's about the people around you and whether they're there to protect you. Blue H, we don't know if Morgan's son is dead. Not yet anyway. He is dead. He's definitely dead. I'm 99% sure he's dead. So yeah. What do you guys think about this cliffhanger that we just got with Ezekiel, or with the kingdom members jumping on Ezekiel? Do you think that that would change Ezekiel going forward? Or do you think that, you know, he's just going to think of it as this is what happens? In my opinion, that's going to go a long way in changing Ezekiel a little bit and making him stronger as a leader. And it's actually very interesting because if you watch the first 4 minutes or few minutes of the next episode, it seems like they're going to show us right before Ezekiel and the others went into that mission. And, you know, they're going to show every character that was involved in that massacre. And, you know, it's interesting because it makes you think of those characters in a different light. Obviously, we didn't see most of them for most of the time that they were alive, but it still makes us question, you know, this world and this whole war. And to answer your question, Ronnie Thomas, no, I don't. Who was it that asked? Let me go back a little bit. Yeah, Killer Hacks asked if Ronnie is a troll, and I'm starting to think maybe he might be. Blue H, will the Whisperers be making an appearance in Season 8 mid-season finale? I hope not, but we may get a tease of them, but I think it's better for them to leave them for the next season. But it all depends how long All Out War is going to be. If All Out War is going to be an entire season, then, you know, we're most likely not going to see them till Season 9. Or I don't think we should see them until Season 9. But if All Out War is only half a season, which is very unlikely, then we might see the Whispers closer to the end of the season. So, before I go into the next couple questions that you might ask, or that you're going to ask, I'm going to announce something. So, keep an eye out for 2 videos that I'm going to do, probably today or tomorrow. One is about Daryl and whether he's gone too dark and whether he's too far gone. And, you know, I think that's going to be an interesting video. And the other is basically talking about who might die in the next episode. Obviously, there's going to be some dead members, most of them Kingdom members. But I'm going to do a separate video just talking about the next episode and who the characters are that I think are going to die. So keep an eye out for those 2 videos. Killer Hacks, do you think Carl will quit the show to go to college? Maybe. I think that might have a lot to do with some of these rumors that are coming in as well. Ronnie Thomas, maybe. And I don't know what you're talking... Okay, you're just saying that you think you're a troll as well, I think. Killer Hacks, when Daryl shot Morales, I started hating him. I was indifferent about it. I didn't really care about Morales that much anyway, but I do believe that he has gone into the dark phase, and, you know, he might not necessarily be able to come back. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with him going forward. Alfie Davis, do you think Morales survived the air on the back, as it seems pretty pointless to bring him back just to die? Also, hello from the UK. Hello from Canada to the UK, and I do believe Morales died. He didn't shoot him in the back, he shot him in the head. So he's definitely dead. But I do agree with you that maybe they should have kept him for longer because they just brought him back after so long. Ronnie Thomas, Daryl is doing the right thing. That's questionable. I don't think he's doing the right thing. I think he's jumping into conclusions too quickly, and he's not giving anyone the benefit of the doubt. And I think he's losing part of his humanity through doing that. But I will get more into that in my next video that I'm going to be doing about that. Ronnie Thomas says, like Morgan and Tara. Morgan and Tara. So same thing. It's the same thing. What Morgan is doing, what Tara is doing, what Daryl is doing. They're all doing things to survive, obviously, and doing things to protect the people they love. But I do believe that there is a line that you can avoid crossing. And that line is if someone is surrendering, if someone is basically giving you information, if someone is doing something that makes us believe that they could be good, we should give them the benefit of the doubt. But if someone is just shooting at you, or you give them a chance and they basically backstab you or something like that, then I don't think that it's necessarily the right thing to do to keep them around or to give them the benefit of the doubt. But like I said, if you keep doing that, then you're losing part of your humanity along the way. Blue H says, maybe Daryl is killing without mercy because it has something to do with Glenn and Abraham. That's definitely true. It definitely has something to do with Glenn and Abraham. More Glenn than Abraham. But, if you remember, in Season 7, when he beat Fat Joe to death, one of the saviors, he said, it's not about surviving anymore. It's about getting it all. Or something along those lines. And I think from that moment forward, Daryl is a darker Daryl than we've seen. Daryl is not just is not just content with doing things to keep everyone safe. He is going the extra mile to make sure that everyone is safe in the long term, and he's not risking anything. And like I said, through doing that, he is losing part of his humanity. Ronnie Thomas, what do you think Rick's reaction will be when he learns the savior is at the hilltop? That's interesting. I think initially he is going to be a little mad, a little angry, but at the same time, I think he's going to remember what happened with Daryl killing Morales and the other savior. I think his name was, what was his name? I don't remember. But I think he's going to have flashbacks of those scenes. Flashbacks of him killing one of the saviors who was protecting his daughter. And all of those are going to flash in his mind, and he is going to calm down and think about the best scenario to go forward. So I do think he's going to be angry first, but then I do think that he's going to be okay with it. But I don't think he's going to be okay with them keeping them at the hilltop. He's going to try to find a way to get them out of there, but he's not necessarily going to get them or get others to kill all of them. Alfie Davis, do you think Maggie hates Daryl because of what happened to Glenn? No, I don't think so. They already addressed that in the previous season. So we had that very emotional scene with Daryl and Glenn, or Daryl and Maggie. Daryl apologized and Maggie's, basically comforted him. So I think they already kind of answered that, whether Maggie hates Daryl or not. So yeah, I don't think Maggie hates Daryl. Daryl Dixon, I don't know what this is. I'm just answering questions. I don't know what you're talking about. We are 24 minutes in, so maybe a couple more minutes, and that will be the end of this live stream. Some very good questions this live stream as well. Blue H, they should have kept Morales until season 9, at least after the war with the Whisperers. That's only if they had something planned for him. They didn't have anything planned for him. They just brought him back, but they didn't have a long-term plan for his character. And that's why they ended up killing him. But if they had a plan for him, then, he could have stuck around, or he could have stuck around for a couple more seasons. it's interesting because there's a lot of questions with the Whisperers. We're not even close to the Whisperer story arc, so let's just concentrate on the story arc we're in right now, which is All Out War, and not jump into the next story arc. Let's just keep talking about this storyline and what we're gonna see in this storyline, which is All Out War. Alright, I think we are getting dry in terms of questions, so I'm going to be ending this live stream. So thank you for everyone who participated and asked questions and, you know, made this live stream more interactive. And instead of it just being me talking about the episode that we just saw. So yeah, thank you for everyone that participated. I appreciate everyone answering questions and things like that. And, you know, I hope to see all of you again next Friday for the next live stream before episode 5. I have a couple more questions, so let me answer those as well. Alfie Davis, do you think Negan will find out Dwight being a mole for Rick? I don't think he's going to find out yet. He might find out closer to the end of the war, but I don't think he's going to find out yet. Michonne's mom, Aloha, I don't know what that means. Aloha Super, was Eric left by the tree as though back to Jim? Throwback to Jim. Oh yeah. Okay, so was Eric sitting by the tree as it being a throwback to Jim dying in, was it season 1 or 2? Yeah, I do think that's a good conclusion to make. I think they did it on purpose, definitely. And it was an Easter egg for sure. Blue H says bye-bye. Bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. So yeah, that's basically it for this live stream. Again, thank you for everyone that participated. I hope to see everyone again here next Friday for the next live stream as well. So yeah, see you next time for another super video.